bro, this is that Vince McMahon booking I told y'all WWE was missing, bro. But we can go ahead and get this show on the road. As you guys know, it's the Bird's Nest Podcast presented to you by your boy Jay Bird and my co-host Mason up Worldwide. Let's get it. And we got a plethora of things that we want to talk about today. But right off the rip, I wish we could have talked about it whenever it actually went down, when it was all going down. And it sucks that DC isn't here to talk on this. But let's talk about the WWE releases, bro. Because it was so sudden, bro. Like, it was crazy. I think a lot of people were shocked. And surprisingly enough, I don't think I was as shocked as everybody else was with the releases. There was maybe like one or two names where I was like, ooh, that's tough. But other than that, I really wasn't surprised at who all was released, just because, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the releases were justified, and you could harp on it if you want to. Let me go ahead and get the list up real quick, chat. I wouldn't say justified, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, you know what I'm saying? They can't keep everybody. You feel me?
And of course, yeah. Some of the names were crazy.
Yeah, I thought I had it saved. I guess not. But off the top of my head, I know I just listed a few of the releases. Dakota Kai being one of the biggest. And like I said, it sucks that Dixie isn't here, because I know Dixie is like one of
that's why he's actually not here.
I'm not even joking, bro. I think Dixie is probably the biggest Dakota Kai fan I've ever seen in my life. So it does suck that he's not here. But yeah, Dakota Kai, Braun Strowman. Oh, if I'm missing anybody, let me know.
Hold up, I missed something on the topics list. Are we talking about the Cora Jade and not the Cora Jade thing, but the Cora Jade and the Cora Jade and Gigi Dolan thing?
Oh, I mean, yeah, we can harp on that too if we got a little bit. We'll talk about that in the releases. I'm trying to see if I got it saved, but yeah, Dakota Kai, Braun Strowman, Cora Jade. Am I missing anybody else? I know I'm missing a lot of people.
Well, I
thought I had it saved. I guess not.
They did release. They released Kaden Carter and Katana Chance.
Yes, they released those.
Which is sad. Couple of my personal favorites. We're looking at NXT. Cora Jade and Gigi Dolan are definitely some big ones. Yeah. Eddie Thorpe also.
Yes.
They released. Well, so they broke up the team beforehand, but they released half of Metaphor, which is probably my biggest release I'm upset about, just because Metaphor was like my group in NXT.
Oh yes, bro, that was lame.
And they released former Chase U member Riley Osborne.
Ooh, and then another big name that I missed was Shayna Baszler. That was tough. I was like, dang, she never really get her, I guess you could say, shot, especially how like dominant she was in NXT. So that kind of hurt. I was like, wow, that is actually insane. And then Shotzi. But like I said, I feel like the biggest names were obviously Braun Strowman, Dakota Kai, Shayna Baszler. And so we'll talk about that. I mean, and it's crazy because I was literally talking about this the other day just on a random live stream. I was like, what do they plan on doing with Braun Strowman? Because, I mean, those giant matches, those monster versus monster matches ain't going to cut it for me, at least. And so the fact that he is now released is, like I said, it's not like I can't say I didn't see it coming. You feel me? And then with the Dakota Kai, when she didn't win the Women's Intercontinental Championship, I knew it was over, bro. And then they didn't really spin the block after that either. And then just injury prone. I was like, yeah, it just wasn't working out for Dakota Kai, bro. I am gonna miss her because she was fired to the company. I feel like she had a pretty cool fan base, you know what I'm saying, Dixie included. So it's tough.
Hey, bro. Mason included.
Yeah, I mean, I always loved Dakota Kai, but I wasn't the biggest Dakota stan like Dixie is. And so I know that has to suck, bro.
I don't think anybody else can do that.
It is, yeah, for real. That is crazy.
Everybody got that one person they ride.
I can't believe Dixie not here to speak on that, bro. But like, I mean, like I said, other than Dakota Kai, there wasn't really any releases that really upsetted me, or I was like, oh wow, already, you know what I'm saying, or anything like that. I don't know. Like, is there anybody that you were like, wow, I can't believe they got released?
I've said it before, Jakara Jackson getting released because I think she's really good. She could have done some good single stuff for NXT. I mean, I'm pretty sure she's still young. Like, there's
very young.
A lot of potential there. Oro Mensa, definitely, because I feel like he was also part of Metaphor. He never really got that chance as a single star. Um, no high profile matches or anything to speak of.
Yeah.
If I, I wasn't as big on Cora Jade as a lot of people were, but I think there's definitely something there, and it is, to me anyway, it's a little weird that she got released just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Gigi Dolan's older, so
So wait, Gigi Dolan got
okay.
released too?
Yeah, before
Damn.
I say she's older, let me
That's
look up
tough.
her age. Could be wrong. Oh, she's
Why?
only 27.
Yeah,
That's
why?
crazy.
I was about to say, I ain't gonna lie, I was pretty shocked with the Cora Jade release. I ain't gonna lie, just because I feel like, I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I thought she was really gonna have a push, like a women's title push, even if it was for the women's North American Championship or the NXT Championship in general, or like the women's NXT Championship. So I'm not gonna lie, I'd be lying if I would said I wasn't surprised. Or yeah, I was. That was one of the bigger ones I was surprised by, just because I mean, like you said, something was definitely there, and it felt like they just missed out on an opportunity with Cora Jade. I feel like she should have been the next. I guess because they brought in all that women, like that talent in the women's division on NXT, it kind of overshadowed what Cora Jade had going on and the steam that she had, I guess, returning. And so that's tough. And Gigi Dolan, I mean, other than her having a fat butt, I never really got behind, you know what I'm saying, her work. You know what I'm saying?
Isn't hold up. Let me make sure I'm right. Don't you get married to her in one of the 2K My Rises?
I think so, bro. It's just crazy.
Which game was it? Because
I
I need to
can't.
buy that.
I want to say it's 22 or 23. I can't remember exactly. Dixie would know better than I would, but yeah, that is crazy though,
Um,
bro.
Shayna Baszler
Oh yeah, that was
leaving
a big one too, bro.
before ever getting. Oh, she never got a world championship, a women's world championship.
Yes, bro.
She was only the tag team champs with
It does
Nia Jax.
suck, bro. It because I mean, and especially now that they got the women's mid card championship, it's like, wow, that's
Mhm.
crazy. What's up?
She would have been great for that scene too, because I mean, the SmackDown the women's US Championship scene, in my opinion, it's pretty dead. It's like three people. What is it? Zelina Vega, Chelsea Green, and what's her face, Mia Yim.
Yeah,
Like that's really it. Nobody else really matters.
that's what I'm
Or,
saying.
it's treated like they matter.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like they released her at the wrong time. I feel like this would have been the perfect time to actually start building Shayna Baszler up as a character. But at the same
Hmm.
time, same thing with Braun Strowman. They really didn't have any direction for either of those superstars. It felt like they were just at a standstill and their careers were at a halt. So I guess, like I said, it does make sense for these releases. Like I don't think there was, like I said, besides the Cora Jade one, there in Dakota Kai, obviously there wasn't really any releases that was like, or in Jakarta. I mean, besides, you know what I'm saying, the fact of the matter is, I don't think there was any releases where it was like, oh, they didn't deserve to get released. Not that any of these people like deserved it, but you know what I mean. Like I don't know. Like I said, once Dakota Kai lost that women's intercontinental championship match, I knew it was over, bro. Like, and then I think they said she got hurt after that match, so they couldn't even spin the block and get a rematch in or something like that. Even though it wasn't a major
Yeah.
injury, it's just like I don't know, bro. It is tough, and it does suck.
She's very injury prone in general. I think
Yeah.
she's, correct me if I'm wrong. I think she's torn both
Yes, bro.
ACLs. I might be wrong about that. I know she tore at least one.
That is tough, bro.
And just history of what concussions and dislocations and whatnot. Which I mean, who in wrestling isn't? But I feel like at the very least they could have kept her around as a manager or something. Maybe she didn't want to do that, and that's why
Yeah.
she got released. But this just means what's the name? This means Damage Control is dead.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
'Cause
Like, and I think it's kind of been dead because I mean they haven't really been showing Kari
that's
Sane.
also true.
They haven't been showing
It's
Kari
really just
Sane,
been
Io and Dakota. Really.
she's injured. Yeah, Kyrie and Asuka I think are both injured,
Yeah, which
and
is crazy.
it's really just Io and Dakota left, and yeah, they weren't really doing anything with Dakota, so it's unfortunate.
Yeah, for real. And then I want to talk about this just real quick before we move on. Like, you think Bailey's gonna go to AEW? Like, you think she's gonna, you know what I'm
I
saying?
is her contract expiring soon?
I have no clue, but I did see Mercedes Monet or whatever make a post or something, and she was like, I forgot what she basically made a post with Bailey, and I'm like, oh wow, like that would be crazy. And let's just say theoretically or hypothetically, if that was to happen, Do you think that's like a big loss for WWE, or you think that's just a bigger gain for AEW? Like, what you
I
think
would
outweighs
say
which
I think it's a bigger gain
for AEW?
for AEW. What I will say to qualify that is I don't know if AEW is going to use her properly just because there's so
Mm,
many women on the roster already who don't like get anything. Like the
yeah.
women's roster is basically Tony Storm, Mariah May, Chris Statlander, maybe Athena. I don't even know if she's on the main roster yet,
Mm-hmm.
and whoever else. Uh, actually, oh, and Willow Nightingale. But I think it would the WWE would have everything to gain from it, or not WWE. AEW would have
AEW.
everything to gain from it, but and at the same time, I think WWE would be losing an important piece of their roster because Bailey, you can put pretty much anywhere. You can have her doing anything. She's kind of like
Yeah.
Sami Zayn, who I know that you like to hate on, but she's like Sami Zayn, where she's just amazing at whatever she does. So they're definitely gonna miss. There's gonna be a hole left if
I feel that.
that role is gone.
Nah, yeah, that's true. That's true. I just was curious. Yeah, I have to reiterate everything you said. I think it would be a bigger gain for AEW than it would be a bigger loss for WWE. Because I mean, like I said, the women division is just stacked, bro. Like, there's just so many, there's so many big names in the women's division, and to still to come too. Like that NXT women's division is literally like, bro, I cannot wait for the future of the women's division in WWE. But
Just
speaking
wait
of,
till we get Mariah May.
hey, hey, boy, you ain't, hey, but speaking of that women's division, two of the biggest, I guess you could say, standouts in those releases were Cora Jade and Gigi Dolan, who recently spoke out on it. Y'all don't know if you got the tweet. I'm pretty sure it was something like
Yeah,
they were
let me
being
find it.
judged. I don't want to misquote them, but
Mhm.
to make a long story less long,
I can read the tweet if you
yeah, you
want.
can read the tweet. Yeah, just so I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to spew misinformation, you know?
Okay, so Dave Meltzer reported from whatever newsletter, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He said many of those cut were perceived as not working hard in training, and if you don't work hard in training, there's so many people who do. And at this point, if the feeling is you're not working hard in training, I saw the term lazy. The ones who are
Mm.
lazy are going to be gone, and the ones who didn't stand out are going to be gone. And so, in response to that, Gigi Dolan replies, and she says, "When I wasn't traveling to work for either of the two companies I was working for, I trained very hard, 3 to 4 days a week, bumping my ass off and doing cardio drills with one of the best slash toughest coaches I've ever worked with, and worked out every single day with live events every other weekend. So yeah, I don't want to hear this. The way my body feels says otherwise." And
Mm.
Cora Jade responds to that, and she says, "This plus can't forget having to go to my own gym outside of work after strength and conditioning. That wasn't doing anything for me besides getting me body shamed by my bosses, coworkers, and fans. Crazy."
That's it? So with that being
That
said,
yeah,
because I think the biggest question I have is which bosses do you think she's talking about, bro? Let's be real. Let's get right into it.
no way with Sean.
It
That'd be
can't
insane.
be. It would be
Sean loves
crazy,
women.
bro. Yeah, we love women, bro. Like, I
You
just
think
don't.
Sean smashed Sexy Red?
Like, what you mean by smash? Like, you think he hit that? Absolutely not, bro. Absolutely not, bro. Bro, he too old, bro. Bro, the Heartbreak Kid ain't moving like that
That ain't
no
stopping
more,
shit.
bro.
That ain't
Bro,
stopping shit. You see how horny NXT is?
I mean, hey, Booker T. But can you blame him though? I was like, all right.
I feel the same way whenever I see Stephanie Vaquer.
Jada
I
Parker,
completely understand him.
bro. Jada Parker just be different, bro. She different, but that's besides the point. And like, I don't know. I do think that is something that is very concerning, especially for the women's division, because it's like, I don't know, man. If you can't feel comfortable in your body while you're training, I definitely think that's a problem. Like, that's not
I
that.
guess. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was
Sorry,
gonna
I may
say. I
cut you.
mean, because that's everything that everybody griped on Vince McMahon about is because the way he treated the superstars. So if nothing's really changing, then it's like that's tough, bro. That is very tough, and that sucks for the superstars. I don't know what you had to
Yeah, I
say.
was gonna say, I feel like this is indicative of the direction that the
Yes.
company's going. At least, you know,
I
a
just hope
bit.
this
I don't
is
want to
fake
get
news, bro. I
too
really do.
conspiracy theorist. It's like, well, you know, the whole thing with Vince leaving and Triple H coming back is that, you know, we have a boss who's not a complete dickhead, so
Yeah.
it's somebody who's gonna respect beliefs or whatever, and then it nothing's changed.
Yeah.
Anyway, it feels like between Vince and Triple H, besides the show quality is occasionally better.
Yeah.
Because once again, I haven't felt any incentive to watch recently, so it just feels like nothing changed. Everything stays the same. The women still get body shamed. The company still definitely has some racist undertones. We never talked about the roast of WrestleMania, but
Yes, that yeah.
I heard it was bad. I heard it was
Yeah.
very bad.
And it's just oh yeah, we never talked about this, but this just a side note. Like, what do you think about the El Grande Americano thing? Like a lot of the Hispanic community are getting offended by that. You ain't see
Are they
that?
actually?
Yeah, I seen
I
like a
can't get
post. It was like
offended.
this is like that's why they changed the thing. Like this theme song, it was like the greatest luchador out of the coast of it's something. It was said something about Mexico or something, and they was
The Gulf
like,
of
bro,
America.
they were getting like crazy offended. I was like, wow, like, bro, like I ain't trying to say society has gotten soft, but it is like, bro, like this is a gimmick. This is like for memes, like obviously it's not cool to joke about, you know what I'm saying, races and things of that nature, but that is crazy, like, bro. It ain't even like they was going it ain't like they was out of pocket with it. You know what I'm saying? Now I'd understand if they had him doing very stereotypical things, but he's just literally role playing as a luchador. Like, bro, is that not insane? Like, that's pretty crazy.
He, in my, from what I've seen, you know, the small bit I've seen, he put on a mask. Um, he, everybody knows who he is too. It's not like he's trying to hide his identity. Put on a mask.
Wait, what the fuck?
He,
Everybody knows who it is. Wait, you one of those conspiracy theorists that thinks it's Chad Gable, don't you? That's crazy.
anyway, he put on the mask. He says he's from the Gulf of America. It's just heel heat, man. JBL did
I'm
much
saying.
worse back in the day.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if they
That's
thought
all I'm
that was
gonna
bad,
say.
holy.
They would have hated JBL. I
It's,
think JBL said on TV, "Go back to your country."
yes,
He
bro.
he said
Literally.
something crazy like that. He literally went to the border, and I'm assuming it couldn't have been like actual people trying to cross the border. I assume they put some
Yeah.
plants out there. They put some Hispanic people out there. He was literally like running them off. He was like, "Go back to your country and stay out of
Yo. Bro, that
that
is
man.
crazy
That man
as
was a
heck, bro.
menace.
Nah, JBL was a menace for real, bro. But speaking of JBL, let's talk about the AAA partnership with one of the most notable names being Alberto Del Rio. This is that Vince McMahon booking I told y'all WWE was missing, bro. This is what we needed, bro. We needed some real heat. And I'm telling you, when Alberto Del Rio returns that Money in the Bank and wins the Money in the Bank briefcase, the crowd is going to erupt in flames. Holy, bro. Let me cook, bro. I'm cooking with this one, bro. So, speaking of that, what are your thoughts on the AAA partnership in the PLE that they have co-hosting the Money in the Bank?
I think. I mean, I'm hyped for NXT versus AAA
Yeah,
just because I feel like Sean does better work with like partners or whatever than
yeah,
Triple H does.
I feel that.
Um, I don't know what it's really gonna end up as, and a part of this is I don't know AAA that well,
Same,
and
same, low key.
for the people who aren't as in the know as I am, AAA kind of got big, although not really. So Lucha Underground was a thing back in 2014 to
Yeah.
2018, and that was a really big thing. And the people who were in that show were all like AAA wrestlers at the time. What's
Mm.
happened now is that most of them have come over either to WWE or AEW, or they've gone to New Japan or whatever. At least, yeah, all the major stars, Ray Phoenix, Penta, Santos Escobar. I'm trying to think of more. Rey Mysterio, honest, if we're being honest, was part of Lucha Underground for a while.
Yeah.
Ricochet He's
Oh,
not
Puma.
in
People known
WWE
as
anymore.
Puma
He
or
was part
something.
of Prince Puma. Yeah, he was part of Lucha Underground. So I'm not familiar with anybody on the roster besides Elio del Vikingo and Alberto Del Rio.
Yes,
So
sir.
I can't really like I'm gonna be absolutely hype if Vikingo shows up like in fights in a main like if I see Elio del Vikingo on Raw, I actually might tune in. But
Mm.
when the other side of that equation is Alberto Del Rio also might show up on SmackDown, I'm not as excited.
Nah, bro, they finna cook, bro. This that heel work that the WWE has been like literally missing, bro. Like, cause you can't lie, bro. You know they gonna boo Alberto Del Rio. Let's just be real. Like he might get a bigger boo than Prime Dominique Mysterio. I ain't gonna hold you. Low key.
Because the main thing is nobody liked Alberto Del Rio even during his WWE run. Like
Yeah.
he was, and this is I think going to be a topic that comes up later. He was probably one of the worst WWE champions ever.
Crazy.
He just annoyed people as the world heavyweight champion. I was annoyed for
I
the
liked
main
him
part
as a
because he
world
was
heavyweight
fighting with
championship.
Christian, and I wanted Christian to win so bad, and Alberto Del Rio just has to keep it. And the Dolph Ziggler thing, I can go off about how much
I
I hate
think
Alberto Del
I
Rio,
think you're just
but
biased. I think he did what he was supposed to do as a heel. Like he made you
we
not like
we,
him.
we can eliminate bias. I don't like the man because he was an
Nah,
abuser.
yeah. Now, like I said, I can separate the art from the artist. I ain't saying Alberto Del Rio, the person, is like I don't like the person, but I do like the character. The character, I think is very entertaining. I think if done right, I think he could be one of the biggest heels in WWE right now. Like actual heels, like bad heat heels. You know what I'm saying? Cause yeah, they got the heels that got heat, but it's like good heat. Like they booing because it's fun to boo. They're not booing because they actually hate him. You bring somebody like Alberto Del Rio back, they're gonna boo because they hate him, and I think that's what the WWE is maybe missing. And I think this is big. I think this is. I low key want to say. I was gonna say this is bigger than the TNA partnership, but I don't. Yeah, it's definitely not. But yeah, it's not. It's nowhere near it.
Well,
That TNA partnership was pretty crazy.
you got the biggest company in Mexico versus the biggest or the third, maybe fourth biggest company in
Yeah.
the U.S. I feel like it's about on that level.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
Okay.
even crazier. It came out of
Like I
nowhere.
said, I
That's the
don't
main
watch
thing.
AAA, so I don't know. But one thing that I was super excited about that kind of increases the probability of this happening. So, do you think we're getting a backlash or a PLE in Mexico now that they have that AAA partnership? Because if so, that is gonna be lit, bro. Y'all thought
A
those
PLE in
European
Mexico
crowds
would
was
go crazy.
that? Yeah, I'm telling. Like, bro, imagine a backlash. Like, bro, I think it'll be dope. I think that's gonna be fire. But yeah,
That's why you get Alberto Del Rio. It's gonna be so sad. That's exactly how I was gonna. They're gonna announce a PLE in
no,
Mexico.
bro.
It's gonna be in like October or something. And in September, Alberto Del Rio is gonna show up on SmackDown. He's gonna challenge
Chad,
whoever
mark
is the
my
United
words,
States
bro.
champion. I'm
Alberto.
gonna cry. It's gonna be so bad.
Mark my words, Chad. Alberto Del Rio is winning the Money in the Bank, bro. I'm
No
telling
way.
you, Chad. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit.
I feel like we need to talk about it more whenever the pay per view comes around. But I
Yeah.
feel like there's already pretty good contenders
Oh
for.
yeah, for him. Yeah, facts, facts.
Yeah.
And like I said, I wasn't able to watch, so you could do the Raw and SmackDown recaps. Just give me a rundown of the key points on what happened on the episodes and things of that nature. I know one
We
thing that I
can.
did see, I seen the Paul Heyman crash out that everybody been talking about. That was crazy. They said Paul Heyman crashed out on
Yeah.
Jey Uso, bro. I was like, damn, that jump was pretty crazy.
Okay, I do know. I don't know the details. I know the basics.
Yeah,
We'll start with SmackDown because it was first. If we're moving into that now.
yeah. We could do that. We could do that.
Word. Okay, so SmackDown. Let's see. LA Knight and Damian Priest fought, and then it got interrupted by Solo, I believe, and then Solo and Jacob started beating down those two. And so the
Yes.
U.S. title Fatal 4-Way is official
Mm,
for Backlash. It's going to be LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, because Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest are still beefing for some reason.
crazy.
LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, and Jacob Fatu, the champion at Backlash. And so with the women's championship stuff, I believe doing a horrible job of this because I didn't watch the show.
No, you
There
good.
was
You
a
good.
tag match between Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill
Oh yeah, I remember
versus
that.
Nia Jax and Naomi.
Yeah, Naomi. Yeah, that's what it was.
Which I think ended with Cargill beating. She pinned Nia Jax. I think that's what the ending was. But
Yeah.
anyway, um, so I want to talk about the state of the women's championship with Tiffany Stratton winning at Mania. I guess who do you book as her next challenger, and then who would you who would you see her losing it to? Would also be a question.
Next challenger, I feel like Nia Jax is a great opponent. Like I think they can pick back up on that storyline. They already had Nia Jax attack her, so I mean, why not go that route? And then who as far as who did she lose it to? Low key, I could see Jade Cargill. Low key, that might be a reach, and maybe it's just because I'm biased. I'd love to see Jade Cargill win gold, but off the top of my head, I genuinely can't think of anybody else in that women's division that could that would be a good person to dethrone her. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'd probably go Jade Cargill, low key.
I got an even crazier idea.
All right, but let's hear it. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
I imagine at some point we might get a triple threat, and it's Tiffany versus Jade Cargill versus Naomi, and Naomi is the one who ends up winning.
For real? I can see
because
that.
I think with this, heel turn and everything, they're really trying to set something up with Naomi, and she deserves it. Her last championship was the singles championship was like 7 years ago, and I don't remember her reign being all that good.
Yeah.
So a chance to redeem herself, at least. She could have like a Liv Morgan type run. I know people hated on Liv Morgan. I'm not hearing it. I don't care, but I think it could be something, and that'll probably lead into either Bianca or Jade win, and then we get those two at Mania. It's probably my best bet.
I can see that. I like that. I wouldn't mind that. The only thing is I can see that. I can see Naomi winning that because it is like because what's the point of having her return? Because remember she left the WWE with at the time Sasha Banks, but she returned. So it's like, what's the point of having her return if you're gonna do the same thing? Like she's not gonna win, and I think that's what this new character gimmick is for. Is so that way she can evolve as a superstar and can progress and obtain that singles gold, even if it is the women's U.S. championship, which leads us into our next topic. Is the women's U.S. championship cursed? And I'd like to hear your thoughts on it because I think it's the IC women's championship that is cursed, in my opinion. But you can go ahead.
That's crazy.
You can go ahead though.
I just brought this up just to clickbait, I guess.
Okay.
I think I don't know. It's weird. So who was it? Who won it first? Chelsea Green won it.
Yeah, Chelsea Green.
She was the inaugural champion. Her reign was very mid, according to what I've heard. I wanna look this up just to be sure. Let me look this up.
Yeah, while you look that up, I'll get my thoughts on that. I mean, and like I said, me personally, at least, I feel like it's just how Triple H is booking them. Like we didn't get any of the women's mid card championships on the PL at either Manias. We're finally getting a women's mid card championship at Backlash. I think this is actually the first time the titles are going to be defended on a PLE. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like up until now. I just did not like that the women's IC championship division. Like it was just boring to me until Becky Lynch came and sparked things up with that I guess with their feud now, I guess. But other than that, I like the women's US championship run. I love that Chelsea Green was the inaugural women's champion. I think that she had a very good run. I really feel like low-key this might have been too soon. I feel like she didn't really get enough, like, I guess you could say action as the champion. Like Lyra Valkyria is getting right now. Like she's literally getting a PLE match. I feel like Chelsea Green deserved to hold it a bit longer. But, however, with that being said, I'm not mad at Selena Vega being the one to win it. Just because I feel like she's also very worthy of that championship. She's been grinding. She's been literally putting on match after match. And she needed something, bro. Like, especially after she lost in Puerto Rico to Rhea Ripley. At that moment, I was like, dang, bro. Like, where do they go with Selena Vega? Because it doesn't look like she's main event ready or that she's world title ready or like that. Or not that I'm saying that. I'm just saying from the way she was being booked. And I think this is a good like first step into that direction. And so I think this is good for Selena Vega. I'm glad she won it. But I was kind of sad that Chelsea Green lost it. Because, bro, I'm not going to lie. When Chelsea Green walked around, she looked like the Statue of Liberty. Like, and what made it even more funnier, because she was like, she's America's United States champion. Whole time she's Canadian. So it was very funny. Like, I loved the gimmick. I loved the storyline that they was running with. It was just very entertaining. And I think that's going to be missed, I feel like, more than anything. But as far as the title being cursed, I don't think it is. I think, like I said, I feel like that women's IC championship is going to be more cursed than anything. But only time will tell. But
Oh, so here's what I was looking at. Her reign was about 4 months long. Mm-hmm. Most of that was spent fighting Michin, who I was never that big into the rivalry. Yeah. Now, to be fair, it's one of the rivalries I actually like caught up with, like one of the smaller rivalries I caught up with, because they were like on Twitter exchanges all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, her reign was just 3 matches against Michin, and then a throwaway match on NXT, and then she lost on SmackDown on Friday.
Yeah.
Last Friday. So it's like, it was an okay reign. I feel like they could have done more with Chelsea Green.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Low key, bro.
And then my other thing was Zelina Vega defended. Well, she didn't defend the title, but she was in a match with
Piper Niven.
Piper Niven on SmackDown. I heard it wasn't all that good.
Yeah.
At least it was just mid, if anything. And I don't know how much the crowd was into it, how much the crowd was cheering her on. But if she doesn't have the crowd behind her right now, I feel like that's trouble.
Yeah. That's always a big thing. Like, I think a crowd plays a major contribution to the success of a title reign. But, yeah, I think...
Because, like, Jey Uso, as polarizing as his reign is, as a concept, he's still, he's getting, like... They're cheering him so loud, he can barely cut promos.
Yes,
like,
literally, bro. Like, it's literally just the IWC,
right,
bro. It's literally just the IWC that is hating on it, which is crazy. Because and we'll talk about this when you do the Raw recap. And actually, we can go ahead and get right into it. I think in main event at Raw, right? We can say you can do the recap of Raw, and then we'll hit on that Jey Uso versus Seth Rollins match. Because because I was able to catch that. I don't know if you watched that match, and if you haven't, please go back and watch that bit. Like, holy. You could, yeah.
I might go watch it. Okay, we'll say that for the main then.
Yeah.
First thing with Raw, I said, is Rusev boring?
Yeah. And I mean, that is tough because he's only 2 weeks in, right? I mean,
it does suck. I was super hyped for his debut.
Same.
When he showed up, because I was a big Rusev fan when he first came to WWE. Actually, I was a kid, so I was a big Rusev hater.
Yeah.
But as you grow up, and then Rusev Day happened, and that was probably the most amazing thing on SmackDown at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I was glad to see him back in the company, of course. I was glad to see him doing something, because he started off like, as a big name in AEW, and then he just kind of disappeared among all the numbers. But the reports were that Rusev's match with Otis, I don't know if he still goes by that or if he's just Otis.
Or Otis.
His match with Otis was very heatless, and he won, and then he beat up Akira Tozawa and beat up Otis some more, I think, and then nobody really cared.
I feel like they're trying to book him as if he's on the same level of Gunther, and it's just not working, bro. Like, it's really just not. And maybe it's just because it is Otis and Akira Tozawa, like. Nobody cares enough. Like, maybe if he would have came out and attacked, let's say, Jey Uso. Like, if he would have attacked Jey Uso, he probably would have got some heat. Maybe. I just feel like the names that he attacked really diminishes the heat, I guess you could say. Because, I mean, let's be real.
That's true.
Nobody gives a damn that Otis and Akira Tozawa gets attacked. They got attacked. They get attacked all the time. Like, nobody cares. So, I think that's one of the biggest parts. Maybe it's just who he attacked. Like, maybe they spice it up these next couple of weeks. But, yeah, that's tough, bro. That's tough for Rusev, bro.
That's another thing that also, like, frustrates me. Because, Otis and Akira Tozawa aren't the biggest names for Rusev to make his debut against. Yeah. Also, that's just frustrating because Alpha Academy was, they were like a pretty big thing for so long. And then the Chad Gable and Otis split was like a big thing
And then
that they drew out for way too long, and
yes,
they
bro.
did nothing with the rivalry
They never
afterwards.
capitalized on that, bro. They could have been. That should have been way bigger than what it was. They never capitalized on that And then you spoke on tag team split ups. Let's talk about Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. They finally did it, Chad. They finally did it.
No,
If you
wait,
missed it,
no. Hold up. Did they?
I mean, I'm pretty sure I seen something like on Twitter. Like I said, I wasn't able to watch it, but I'm pretty sure that they did split up. I think Austin Theory hit it like a line like, "Oh, how could you do this to me?" We could double take it, but I'm pretty sure.
Hold up. Let me get the Raw recap back
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
I
Go
don't think
ahead.
they split up. They're
You don't think
teasing it
so?
though. So let me see what happens. Sheamus and Austin Theory
Yeah, that
fight.
wasn't a match.
They said it was an amazing match. And so what happens? Sheamus ends up winning with the Brogue Kick, and Grayson Waller is clearly upset about the outcome, and so they're looking like they're going towards a split.
Okay. All right, bet.
It hasn't happened yet.
With that being said, do you think it's too late for that split up? Like, what are your thoughts on
Yeah,
that?
I think people have been calling for a split up for them for a while. It
Months,
probably should have happened. It probably should have happened like right after they lost the tag team championships, because they were the WWE tag team champions.
Yeah,
I can't
I
remember
think they were the SmackDown ones.
what
I can't
brand.
remember, to be honest.
Yeah,
But yeah, they were.
but
Yeah.
I don't. It's just, this long term storytelling or whatever. It's just not interesting. I
Yeah.
don't know.
And I feel that.
I mean, it's interesting for some stuff. It's just this is not something that really needed long term storytelling.
Yes.
The group's been the pair has been dead for a while. I haven't been interested in this group for a while. I doubt anybody else has, so I don't know why it's taken them so long to come up with something better.
Nah, yeah, and it is tough because I'm a pretty decent. I like the A Town Down Under. Like I like the tag team. I feel like they really should have capitalized on this opportunity when Austin Theory was actually getting crazy. Like he was getting over as a face. Like people were wanting to see him have a face run, and I think
Yeah.
now people don't really care as much. But I feel like they really could have pulled the trigger whenever he was actually over with the fans, and that really could have benefited his career in general. Cause I would like to see an Austin Theory face run, and like I said, it is tough, bruh. Like, cause like you said, they drug it out for so long, so now it's like, now it's kind of too late. Like, it's about time you finally decided to pull the trigger, and so it's like, I don't know, bruh. I don't think it's gonna hit as much as it would have back if they would have did it whenever he when he was over with the crowd, bro. And so that does kind of suck because it could have been fire. They could have had a fire feud, and I do love Austin Theory, bro. I mean, he's from Georgia. I'm from Georgia. Like, it's fire. I'd love to see all my Georgians succeed. And
A-Town.
so, and he's just a fire athlete, bro. Like, I think Austin Theory is severely underrated, bro. I think he has so much more hidden potential, bro. And it's just he's being capped because of the tag team that he's in. I feel like them splitting up would be beneficial for both of their careers, if I'm being honest with you. And so yeah, that's my thoughts on that. And then let's talk about this main event because holy, bro, we had Jey Uso versus Seth freaking Rollins in the Evolution 2.0, baby. I'm telling you right now, bro, we're getting a third member, and that third member will be Nathan Frazier, bro. I'm telling y'all, chat. You have to believe in me. Y'all gotta trust in the process. But with that being said, bro, if you do get time to watch that match, bro, you don't even gotta watch that show. Just watch that match. I go out on note and I'll say this: Jey Uso versus Seth Rollins was better than Gunther versus Jey Uso at WrestleMania Night 1, bro. Like that match, it felt like a WrestleMania main event. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You had the shenanigans. I think Sami Zayn pulled up. CM Punk pulled up at the end of that match. It was a good match, bro. Like, holy, like, French kiss. That's how you main event a show. The only thing that sucks about that is it's gonna suck to try to live up to that each and every week because you're not gonna be able to book a show like that every single week. You're not gonna be able to book a match like that every week. But as far as Jey Uso's first title defense, that was beautiful. Beautiful first title defense. Great way to start off his title reign. And holy cow, man, this is a really good start for Jey Uso, bro. And like I said, I don't know if you watched it or not, but Man, that was a good match.
I'll go watch it. If I have one takeaway from Raw this week,
Yeah, go ahead.
they need to call up. They need to call up Roxanne Perez
Yes,
immediately.
bro. Why are they like? Yes, they're holding back for
They're
what?
playing around. They're playing around.
Yes, they literally are. Like, what is the point in like holding her back? Like, unless I don't know. I actually have no clue. I love what her and Julia has going on. It's gonna be dope to see how they pan out. Cause I mean, cause I don't know. I don't know if they're considering themselves a tag team. I just know they're working together to attack the people on the main division, which is pretty dope. And speaking of
Yeah,
NXT
call Julia
superstars,
up too. Honestly.
yeah, Loki at this point. I mean, she's already won the NXT Women's Championship. There's really not much else she could do. She lost to Stephanie Valkyrie. Um, maybe you could have her compete for the NXT Women's North American Championship, but it's like, I think, yeah, like you said, I think they're both ready, bro. They're really both ready. And speaking about that NXT division, I'll let you do the NXT recap. I've seen a bit here and there. I only seen a bit of the highlights, but I'll let you hit on that.
Okay. There was a number one contender match between. I may get this wrong. Once again, shows I don't watch. I don't know who all was between. I know Jada Parker and Jordan Grace were involved.
Hey, real quick before you continue on that,
Julia might have been in there.
did you see that,
Mhm.
that segment where Jada Parker was just cooking the NXT locker room, bro? Holy, Jada Parker is too good
No.
for NXT, bro. Nah, cause Thea Hill and I forget what that other girl is. She was dating Ashante or something like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Carmen?
Yeah, her.
Okay, that's
Jada
what. Yeah,
Parker.
Carmen Petrovic.
Yeah, look, Jada Parker came in the locker room, right? And she was just cooking them like crazy. She was like, bro, I have to see the clip on this or on Twitter, but oh my gosh, she was cooking, bro. Like I said, bro, Jada Parker is a gem, bro. Holy, like she is literally everything you would want in a woman on NXT, like in a you know what I'm saying in the WWE. Like she's perfect, bro. Jada Parker be cooking, bro. But yeah, you could continue. My bad. I just had to get that off. That was actually so funny, bro. Holy.
Oh, that was good.
She
No,
was cooking.
you saved me from giving out misinformation, which I
You're
would
good.
never
You're
do.
good. Nah, yeah.
Um,
Never on the Bird's Nest podcast, chat.
so
Everything we spew are 100% facts and should be lived by.
there was a number one contenders match between Julia and Jordan Grace,
Oh, okay.
which Julia got dropped on her head. The
Oh, I
internet people
seen
were
that, bro.
worried, but she literally does this for a living. Like she
Yeah.
gets dropped on her
It
head for a
happens,
living.
bro. Like,
I've seen the tape. They be taking some hard bumps out in Stardom, out in Japan.
and it's just
They go crazy up.
like that's part of the game, bro. You gonna take like rough bumps like that. I mean, it ain't like Jordan Grace was intentionally trying to drop her on her neck or on her head. Like, bro, that shit just happens. Just like not to recall back to this moment, but when I forget his name, the Irish fella that dropped Biggie on his neck. Like, obviously, it ain't like he was like, all right, I'm gonna go over here and drop him on his neck. It just happens, bro. That's just part of the game, bro. And mistakes happen, bro. It's tough.
I still hate Rich Holland. I don't care.
Yeah. Nah, I do like the way they're doing
a gem from us.
Nah, yeah, and I think if Big E forgave him, it's like there's no reason why anybody else should be holding a grudge over Rich Holland. And I do love what they're doing with him on NXT. I think that was the best thing for him to do because what he was doing on the main roster was not hitting for me at least. And so yeah, like I said, bumps are gonna happen, bro. Like it just, you know what I'm saying? It's inevitable. You know what I'm saying? Like it just happens, bro. And then I see you. We got Trick Williams versus Joe Hendry. Why the fuck do I always say Joe Hendry?
Let me finish up.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Julia got dropped on her neck. She's fine. The match finished. Jordan Grace ended up winning, and she's now the number one contender. And so the reason I brought this up specifically is the match is going to be Jordan Grace versus Stephanie Valkyrie at some point. And I'm looking forward to this just because I feel like there was more that I wanted from the Fatal 4-Way at Stand and Deliver.
Yeah.
And I especially want to see a singles showcase for Jordan Grace, who I feel like I don't want to say hasn't been treated like a star since she got there, but I feel like I want to see her in more high-profile matches, and this is probably about as high-profile as it gets.
I feel that. I feel that. I can see that. I don't think she's gonna win that match, but I can definitely
No,
see
yeah.
that being literally the main event of that night. To be honest, but you spoke on not being booked as like the superstar that it's supposed to be. I want to talk about I forget her name, but it's the tag team partner of Soul Ruka. You know what I'm talking about? She's the big swole
Daria.
girl.
Yeah.
Yes, bro. Literally, bro. The way they were like presenting her as, you would have thought she was gonna be the women Brock Lesnar. The way they were presenting her,
Mm-hmm.
and like she's just not that, bro. Like she's not even in. I don't know. It's just she's just Soul Ruka's sidekick, and that's not a good look, bro. Like especially if you're trying to build somebody up as a dominant feat, like. I don't know. It just doesn't sit right with me. Like I said, the way they debuted her, like she looked like she was gonna be a beast, and now she's almost like she's like Sol Ruka's Piper Nivens. Like you know how Chelsea Green has Piper Nivens. That's what it's kind of reminding me of, and it's like I don't think I like that.
Hey, bro, she's 2015 Tamina.
Yeah,
That's what's happening right now.
and I hope they turn it around. Like maybe Sol Ruka and her feud. I think they could really feud. I think that'd be pretty entertaining. But I don't know, bro. As of right now, bro, they are not cooking with I forget her name, but they are not cooking with her at all, bro.
Zarya. Yeah,
Zarya.
whenever she came in, it really felt like they were like. Now I don't know. Okay, let me phrase this properly. I don't know if it was just the hype packages or I guess what the internet was saying at the time.
Yeah.
They, I was led to believe this is like the next like Rhea Ripley essentially. Even
Yes,
though
bro.
she might be older than Rhea Ripley. Let me check ages real quick. She
And
might be
I
older than
mean,
Rhea Ripley,
and it's
but that
all
doesn't matter.
just it's still not too late. You know what I'm saying? Like they could always turn it around, bro. Like Rhea Ripley wasn't Rhea Ripley until she started really like cooking up on the main roster. So like
Yeah,
people wasn't really messing with.
it took until the Judgment Day,
Yeah,
basically.
not realistically. Yeah, so anything could happen. It's just like this is a pretty rough start. I don't know where you go from this, but yeah, and I'm assuming this was the main event.
Hey, that's where they're going. That's where they're going. They're going gay.
Hey, low key, you never know, bro. You never know. But I'll let you speak on the main event. I wasn't like I said, I didn't really watch. Like I said, I seen a couple highlights from NXT, but I'll let you speak on
This
that.
wasn't the main event. I think this was the opener. We're going
Okay.
out of order,
Oh
but
yeah,
yeah,
we're
this
good.
is
We're
the
good. We're good.
opener. So the match was, let's see, Hank and Tank, new NXT Tag Team Champions.
Okay.
They fought Dark State. Sorry, it was Hank and Tank and Joe Hendry, and they fought Dark State. So what ends up happening is at the end, Joe Hendry is doing whatever, and then Trick Williams
Oh
like
yeah.
comes out, and then those two start fighting, and they go to the back, and Dark State capitalizes, and they end up getting the win. And
W.
so it looks like they're since we no clue on a draft if that's happening this year,
Yeah.
and so therefore no clue on when Trick Williams is coming up to the main roster,
Mhm.
but it looks like they're heading for a Trick Williams and Joe Hendry rivalry.
Which I like. I low key. I'm not mad at it. Low key, I think like I said, like after losing that Stand and Deliver, what do you have Trick Williams do? This is literally the only right answer. Like this would be good for TNA as well because I'm assuming he's gonna go over on TNA and try to fight for that TNA championship. So this is good for
Mm.
Trick Williams and obviously I don't think he's gonna win the TNA championship. I mean that'd be crazy. If
Well,
he
he
won
could.
that would be
Honestly,
insane. That would actually be crazy. That would be crazy. Like insane.
wouldn't be surprised. I
But
actually wouldn't be surprised.
if that was to happen, that would actually be literally nuts. But like I said, and then this is a good little filler arc until he does get caught up. Because I do feel like after this, there's nothing else you can have him do. Like I think he gets caught up. Like there's just nothing else for him to do on NXT anymore. Hence, that's why you have Joe Hendry versus Trick Williams, or that's why they are feuding. Because it's like, besides Joe Hendry, what is there to do for him on NXT? Like, you could have him refeud with Oba for the third time, but I mean, he has to win. There's no way he loses that for the third time in a row. And so it's like, there's nothing else for him to do on NXT, bruh. And so I think this is the best thing for him right now until he gets called up. And like I said, I think he does get called up after this feud. I feel like this is his last feud on NXT. I hope at least, because it's like, what else does he do? And with that being said, I was gonna say something. I think they're done away with the draft. I think they're just doing the transfer portal, bro. I don't think they're doing the WWE draft anymore. I could be tripping, but I mean, they haven't really. They usually announce it at the beginning of every season. It's gonna be. It's literally in May. Like, we're May now, so it's like, I don't know. I don't think we're getting the draft anymore, bro. I think that shit dead. I think it's dead.
It is what it is. I like the draft format better than the transfer portal,
yes,
just because well, for one, it gives reason to people just showing up. Aside from they sign a contract or whatever, but the hype and like the moments it creates, like Lyra Valkyria getting drafted in the 5th round last year, and then she's like crying like with all the NXT people, and
that is
Grayson Waller getting drafted, and he did a shoey.
Bruh, I feel like that's when they drinking it out the shoe. Yeah, I think they are definitely selling by not doing the WWE draft, bro. I think especially this year, bro.
Yeah.
Especially this year, because there's just so much talent that could be called up, so many different like superstars that could go to different brands. I just feel like it's a missed opportunity. I feel like they do it this way so that it is more sensible for superstars to go to different brands. You know what I'm saying? I think just so it's not, like you said, it's not just people just showing up on each brand. You be like, oh wait, didn't he get drafted to Raw? What is he doing on NXT? You know what I'm saying? Or what is he doing on SmackDown? I feel like something like the transfer portal does make that. I guess you could say make that justified, but I still think there's ways you can work around it with the WWE draft. I think I just like that format better. Like you said, I think the format is just better, to be honest. And was there anything else on NXT that we missed or anything like that? Oh, go ahead.
So the big thing with NXT was a 25-man battle royal to determine who is Obafemi's next challenger.
Okay.
And so the first thing to come out of this, Elijah, formerly known as Elias, who is now wrestling in TNA, made his return. Made his return to be in the Battle Royale. So how do you feel about seeing Elijah again? That's the real question.
I'm disgusted, bro. Like
That's crazy.
I never was a fan of him whenever he was Ezekiel, Elias. I don't care. He's trash. I never liked this gimmick. I thought it was the dumbest gimmick of all time. I like the whole Ezekiel junk. It just threw me for a loop. It was so stupid. Like, everybody know that's Elias. Like, bro, you're not fooling anybody. You shaved your beard off and cut your hair. Like, you will never be anything like El Grande Americano. Like, that's a true lucha libre, a true luchador. Like, bro, you just some fraud. Like, you're just role playing as a wrestler, bro. Like, bro, stick to singing, buddy. Go back to TNA. We don't want you back on my brand no more. We don't want you back on WWE. You're trash.
Okay, well, as a non-hater, I enjoyed Elias. I enjoyed Elias during that first run. I think he started in 2018. It's very rare you see people who are just able to make the crowd hate them like that. I don't know if you remember the thing with Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
They were in Seattle, and they made a joke about the Sonics leaving and never coming back, and they literally got booed for like 2 minutes straight. Like, the city hated them. And then I like the Ezekiel stuff. I like most of it. I felt like it was them really trying to create something
that wasn't
out of somebody who didn't have a direction at the time. And I think the main issue, the name was terrible. I'm not gonna support a wrestler just named Ezekiel. I know Ezekiel Jackson was a thing. Everybody loved him back in the day. I don't care if you say you didn't. We were all Ezekiel Jackson fans back in the day.
Yeah.
But his name is just Ezekiel. He had some nice gear, but outside of the Kevin Owens rivalry, there's nothing else really memorable. So I don't know. It's just like fun to see him again. You know, he's doing well. I didn't even know he was in TNA.
I hope it's a one-off thing. Like, I hope he don't come back. Like, bro, stay over there, buddy. We don't want you over here.
He probably will.
I hope he does. But who won that Battle Royale?
So yes, the final four comes down to Miles Bourne, Javon Evans, Sean Spears, and Ethan Page. So Ethan Page just lost the North American Championship match at Stand and Deliver. Sean Spears has a stable or whatever that's doing something. I don't really care.
Nah, yeah.
And Javon Evans, of course, lost the NXT Championship match,
At Stand and
but it was
Deliver.
a triple threat, so he's got reason to win. And so what ends up happening is Sean Spears and Ethan Page throw out Javon Evans when he's going for the Malacutter.
That's tough.
I don't know what it's called, man. But they throw him out, and so it's just those two left, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna team up and get Miles out of here." And so they do whatever. Who is it? What's his face? Sean Spears is like he's skinning the cat. He got tossed over the top rope, and so he's holding on. And then Ethan Page and Miles Bourne are fighting. Miles Bourne ducks a few clotheslines and then throws whoever I said into the ropes.
Yeah.
They do the skin the cat thing, but both of them fall out, and so we get a surprise winner in Miles Bourne.
Ew.
And
that's trash, ain't it? I was low key hoping Ethan Page was gonna win that.
Okay. So
are you talking about that? You talking about that Timu Randy Orton? Like, come on, bro. You will never be Randy Orton. Be yourself. Like, be yourself.
As an NXT lover, I enjoy the no quarter catch crew. Charlie Dempsey, Miles Bourne, Tavion Heights, and Ren Sinclair. I'm mad I forgot about that. I definitely love Ren. Ren's great. So my main thing with this is I think it's a good decision because my main thing with NXT is like outside of what you have like your Oba, Trick, and Javon was like people who could win the NXT championship. And then after that, you have probably like Sean Spears, Ethan Page, Ricky Saints, who is the North American champion right now. But you have them as like people who could challenge for the championship,
yes,
but probably not win it, at least right now. And so I think they needed to add some new people to their main event level. My main issue with Miles Bourne winning, I love Miles Bourne. This is no disrespect to him.
Yeah.
Tavion Heights is right there.
Yeah. Which I'm not mad at. Like you said, it is building up that main event like roster. Just because, I mean, besides Javon Evans, Trick, and Oba, and Ethan Page, technically, like there really isn't.
I mean, yeah, Ethan Page is a former NXT champion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I know.
That's was definitely brought in to be a main event guy, but it feels like they've already cooled off on that a bit.
And I think it's just he just paying his dues, I guess, because I think Ethan Page has a very bright future. Like I think his NXT title run was pretty entertaining. Like I think it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I think he's just really just paying his dues and just putting in the work, honestly. But as far as Miles Bourne winning, I don't know. It's very hard for me to get behind him just because it does feel very off-brand Randy Orton-ish, to me at least. But hopefully he can, like, maybe this is like gonna actually build his character up a little bit and actually progress his character, I guess you could say. Maybe it'd be good character development. I don't think anybody in their right mind has him beating Obafemi though, right? There's just no way.
I don't.
It would be wild way, bro. That would
if
be
he
borderline.
Does,
that would be borderline racism, bro. I'm gonna be real. So that is crazy.
If he does win,
crazy.
Then Oba's absolutely getting called up. I didn't think it would happen this soon, which is why I don't think he's gonna win. But yeah, that's like Oba's like going to the main roster because what else is there left for him to do in NXT? He's pretty much he's really just done everything possible.
Unless they're gonna have him form a tag team, which I really don't want to see them do. That'd be like how AJ Styles and Omos was. Like, no, bro. Dude.
Hey man,
I feel like tag teams destroy careers, bro. That shit does not work. Bro.
And Obafemi and Javon Evans team up for the Dusty Classic if they bring him back.
That would be crazy. That would actually be crazy.
Man, that's a super team. They're top 2 in NXT. They're top 3, and actually, neither one of them are 3.
I would actually not mind watching that. That is actually pretty. That's
what I'm saying. Yeah,
and I think there's some ideas. They still do the Dusty Classic, don't they? They did it last year because Cody Rhodes hosted it. Remember? Or it wasn't last year, but I remember a specific year Cody Rhodes came on the NXT and it was like we're announcing because remember Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin won it.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was like 2 years ago.
Oh,
I think.
Okay.
I think.
But
wait, hold up.
Okay.
No, you're right. That was last because it led to Mello and Trick breaking up.
Yeah. Okay, bad. That'd be fire. That'd be the only that'd be the best case scenario for like Oba
Well,
on
I was gonna
NXT.
say, so we're late for that now because it would. Well, I guess at least the last time it happened, it was in January, and so, um, it would. Yeah, it'd just be either at a random point in the middle of the year, or Obafemi has to stay around in NXT for another year, which would be crazy.
Yeah,
You kinda.
that'd be very.
The only reason I would see him staying in NXT for another year is if he is still holding the championship.
Yeah, which is honestly very like that'd be. I wouldn't be surprised. Like,
I
man,
would be fine if they did that. Yeah.
the only thing is, it's like after a while, it's gonna be like, damn, who do you even put up against Oba? Because hell, he's damn near run through the whole roster. There's not that many people in that main events division. You know what I'm saying? So it would get to a point where there'd be a lot of repetitive matches, and I don't want that to diminish his title reign, if that makes any sense. So, but I would love to see him have like a Gunther-esque title reign. I think that'd be fire.
Hey, Tavion Heights is right there.
I'm not.
We got at least one more person for filler
Yeah,
until
I do like Tavion Heights. He's straight. He's pretty
the
cool.
loss comes around. But yeah, that was my thing. I like Miles Bourne.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely like Tavion Heights better, and I think he's the better wrestler as of this moment.
Mm-hmm.
And so, um, seeing them not put in the title or not giving that match to Tavion when it feels like he has the higher ceiling out of the two
Yeah.
is it's weird. It feels like a questionable decision, but I'll give it time because Shawn Michaels does know how to cook, unlike
He
Triple
does
H,
cook,
at least
bro.
more consistently,
He
at least
does
more
cook.
consistently than Triple H. So I do want to see what comes of this. It's going to be an interesting setup for sure.
Nah,
I will
yeah.
be mad if this goes the D'Angelo family route and they end up breaking the group up because that would suck. Speaking of the D'Angelo family, we never talked about, or at
Tony
least he wasn't
D.
on the list
Yeah.
he wasn't on the list for the releases that I saw earlier. But Luca Crucifino did get
For
released
real?
from NXT, which sucks because I don't know how much singles potential he had, but that man has an amazing hot tag. Like,
Nah, for real. I think that's
his
tough.
teammates getting beaten down. It's like Angelo Dawkins, like the level of energy he
Yeah.
has coming in the ring. Like, it's kind of upsetting he's gone that soon because he could probably be a tag team with like anybody
Yeah.
on the main roster, and he'd be amazing. And it sucks that he's gone before that potential was realized.
Yeah. And like I said, there's always stuff that happens behind the scenes, chat, that we will never know. So it just sucks, bruh. It does. But earlier you was talking about Triple H like cooking. Let's see how he cooked up on these bless you by the way. Let's see how he cooked up
Thank
on
you.
this backlash match cards so far. I'm pretty sure these are the set match cards. Like Mason said, we might have something brought to us this Friday with Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax, maybe. But so far, what do we got? We got John Cena versus Orton, which is probably gonna be the main event. No, it will be the main event. It will. I'll actually be discussed if it's not. You got Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria, Pat McAfee versus Gunther, the United States Championship Fatal 4-Way, and Dominique Mysterio versus Penta. I guess we can go in order starting with Dominique versus Penta, and then or do you want to start off if they do the Tiffany versus Nia Jax, like if they add that as a match?
Yeah, we can do that. It's a possibility. Well, if you look at the card, I guess there's two SmackDown matches. I forget that the WWE Championship is on SmackDown.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, we can start with Tiffany versus Nia if that
If
does
that is
happen.
yeah.
In which case, I doubt Tiffany loses.
Yeah,
There's
I
no
was
way.
about to say yeah. I personally, I got
It's
Tiffany
pretty.
retaining. Also, chat, I'm gonna notate these like the picks down in the like I'm gonna notate the picks so that way in the Backlash predictions, like when Backlash actually happened, I want to see what we go on predictions. I want to actually keep track of the like how we do on predictions because I actually want to see how everything pans out. But yeah, I'd have to agree. I'd have to say I'd go Tiffany Stratton retaining. I just don't see her losing to Nia Jax. Unless shenanigans happen, of course. But I don't think it doesn't make any sense for her to lose to Nia Jax, if I'm being honest with you. But yeah,
No.
I got Tiffany Stratton retaining. And then we got Penta versus Dominique Mysterio. I go first. I think Dominic Mysterio is retaining, and it's not even gonna be like without a shadow of a doubt, bro. I think he's retaining. I think it'll be a good match though.
I will say there. So what happened on Raw was that Penta fought JD McDonough, returning JD McDonough. Yes. Well, his first match since the injury.
Yeah.
And it was like a 3-on-1 or a 4-on-1 in the ring, like Finn Balor and Carlito and maybe Dominic. I don't remember all the details, but there was a lot of Judgment Day interference, and Penta still beat McDonough's ass. So what I have been hearing is that Finn Balor was barely trying. So this like split that's been teased between the two could come to fruition at Backlash, and Dominic loses the title after a month. Not even a month, after like 3 weeks.
Which would be sickening, bro. I'd actually be sick if that happens, bro.
We will all cry if that happens.
Bro,
yes.
we riot,
are huge Dominic fans.
Bro, I'm not even kidding, bro. I'm pretty sure everybody would boo.
We're boycotting WWE.
If y'all thought people was like hating on Triple H now, if he has Dominic Mysterio lose at Backlash, they might actually riot WWE HQ, bro. I'm not even joking, bro.
Listen, if Dominic loses at Backlash, we are switching to AEW content.
Oh! Heck no, bro. I would never.
WWE. I only AEW.
I wouldn't be called dead representing that brand, bro. I can't stand AEW. I can't stand Tony Khan. The only bright side of AEW is that they have Swerve, MJF, and John Moxley. Everybody else on that whole roster is trash, bro. Screw AEW, bro. Worst brand of all wrestling time, bro. But nah. On a real note, though, if Dominic Mysterio loses, though, we actually might riot WWE. We gonna riot WWE HQ. It don't matter if they try to like beat us down. We riot in WWE HQ. But yeah, I got Dominic Mysterio retaining, and that leads us to our next mid-card championship, the United States Championship, held by yours truly, Jacob Fatu, in a fatal 4-way match between Jacob Fatu, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, and LA Knight. Yeah. So I'll let you go first because I kind of got a hot take low key. So I'll let you go.
I'll let you get off your hot take because I feel like I know where you're going.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna say my primary prediction, like the last match, there may be shenanigans, but I think Jacob Fatu retains because they obviously see a lot of him, as does everybody else. And it's been so short. I honestly don't like the placement of this pay-per-view because I feel like a post WrestleMania pay-per-view should be like at least a month out. You know, WrestleMania just happened. So what else is there to resolve after WrestleMania for the most part?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre probably get into it, and they're taken out of the equation, and then Jacob Fatu ends up getting the win over LA Knight. Yeah.
So here's who I don't think is gonna win it. I don't think LA Knight wins it. I just think it'd be a waste. It'd be a waste because if they were gonna have him win it right back, why let him lose it at Mania? And
mid-card purgatory.
I'm saying nah for real at this point. If that was to happen, but
hydrate. Hold up.
Yeah, that boy B can redeem them hydration points. But
we got the sparkling water.
No, not sponsored by the way, chat. But W sparkling water.
Yeah.
Nah, you can.
No sponsor.
If they want to sponsor us though, hey, W though. But nah, but
I'm glad they accept the sponsor.
Nah, but nah, yeah, I'd say low key, I could see Jacob like this a reach. This a reach. This is a reach. But I would like to see Solo like turn on Jacob, bro. I think it's a reach. It's a reach for sure, and to be out of left field. But I wouldn't mind seeing Solo cost Jacob Fatu the title, and in return, I could see Drew McIntyre winning. But that's not my prediction. But that's like my hot take, because I wouldn't mind seeing Drew McIntyre needs some type of he needs something, bro. Like he's been he's been in hella good feuds. Don't get me wrong. He's been cooking in these feuds, but with no big payout. I think this would be a good minor payout. Him winning the U.S. Championship. I think it'll be a very good title run, and that'll bring more. What's the word I'm looking for? But it would basically beef up that mid card division. Like that'd really bring a lot of, almost like when John Cena won the U.S. title when he did the, you know what I'm saying? He brought some. I'm missing the word. I can't think of it, but he would definitely bring
exposure.
Yes, bro. It'd be dope. But that's not my pick. I think I'll have Jacob Fatu retain, just because it'd be out of left field for Solo to turn on Jacob Fatu, and we've been having a lot of people turn on. Like we've been having a lot of turns recently, so I think it'd be too early. I would like to see Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa feud, though. I think that'd be an amazing feud. But yeah, I'm going with Jacob Fatu though, bro. I'm going with Jacob Fatu. Beacon redeemed some more hydrate, so shout out to Beacon. Yeah, so I have Jacob Fatu winning that match. Next, we have Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria.
Valkyria?
Yeah. Valkyria. So we got Becky versus Lyra. I don't know. I'll let you go first because I'm still kind of on the fence. So I'm not sure who I want to win that match and who do I think is going to win that match.
If I were to give a Raw prediction on who's going to win, I would have to say Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Just because I think it would be out of place for her to. What am I trying to say? I think it would be out of place for Becky Lynch to make her big return at Mania, start a tag team with Lyra, and then immediately lose those belts and turn on her, just for her to fall short of winning the championship. And I think what she's going to do is she's going to try and build up that championship. Like she might have a very long reign with the Women's Intercontinental Championship, and I'd be perfectly fine with that.
Yeah. And I'll have to retweet everything you just said just because it's like, bro, out of all the matches, if this is are the confirmed matches and our predictions are right, there's no way they have every single like champion to like retain. And I think out of all the champions that could be changed, she's the prime candidate. Yeah, and I think it would be good for that division for Becky Lynch to win that title. I think she could do almost what she did with the NXT championship whenever she came back to NXT and won that championship. I think it was from Tiffany Stratton. I can't remember who she won it from. Right. But and how she kind of
might have been Lyra.
And the word I was looking for earlier was elevate. I think Drew, like, not to harp back on our last prediction, but I think Drew McIntyre winning the U.S. Championship would definitely elevate that division. That's the word I was looking for. I could not think of that word, but yeah. Back to what we were saying, though, but in this same case, I think Becky Lynch winning it just makes the most sense. And don't get me wrong, like, Lyra has been doing a fantastic job as the women's IC champion. Who am I kidding? I'm lying. I don't know why I just lied. I feel like it's been a little. I don't even know why I just lied right there. Like I just fucking lied like crazy. But
it's been some boring matches.
Yes, and her reign has just been this is just me personally. I might be tripping, but I'm just not a big fan of the character in general. Like it's cool. She puts on decent matches, but I definitely feel like Chelsea Green had a better mid-card championship reign than Lyra, in my opinion. But so yeah, I'd have to go with Becky Lynch winning that match, in my opinion. Like that's my prediction. I'm locking it in. Damn, Brett, Beacon gonna drown my ass. He got me doing all these hydrates. Like, goddamn, bitch. He's gonna have to raise the price. But nah,
he knows I'm drunk. We need to drink something, something not alcoholic.
Nah, you're good. And then we got that boy Pat McAfee versus Gunther. Big Gunther.
Big Gunther. So we serving Gunther right here.
Hey, facts. The ring got her off. So with that being said, who do you have winning that match? Like, who do you have winning Pat versus Gunther?
I feel like it's pretty obviously set up to be a Gunther win. I think what's happening. So Gunther, so the two were talking back and forth on Raw last week, or not last week, this week. What was it? Gunther is obviously still very mad, and I think what's going to happen, it's not going to be an easy win for Gunther.
Yeah.
But he will win.
Yeah.
Just because they're going to try and build up. He's a little angry. He might be off his game. He's not as technically sound as he usually is. He's just going to be trying to smack Pat McAfee's chest off of him, literally. And so he's gonna do his thing. He might get a little too overconfident or a little too aggressive or whatever. Pat McAfee's gonna get some of his own offense in, and then Gunther's gonna win. Low key, I could see this being the longest match that happens. Well, next to the main event, because next to the main event. The main event's probably gonna go like 20 or 30 minutes. But this could possibly be like the longest match besides that. I could see them going like 15, 20 minutes with this one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think he's really gonna lay it in on Pat McAfee before Pat McAfee gets his offense in. But Gunther is gonna end up being the guy who wins, because it'd be foolish for them to have Pat McAfee win. That would actually just be probably one of the worst. That's up there with like Goldberg beating the Fiend of like worst decisions WWE's ever made. Yes. Damn. That's that bad.
You think it'd be that
bad? If Pat McAfee win, if Gunther, one of like the most renowned, like technically proficient wrestlers of all time, loses to a commentator, a part-time celebrity wrestler, that is very embarrassing. Yes.
It would be a bad look, bruh.
You do irreparable damage to Gunther's character.
And then, it sucks because I'm trying not to agree with every single prediction that you got, but we've literally been tip for tat on every single prediction so far. And I have to once again agree with you. It's just like, especially now, because for some odd reason, Pat McAfee is definitely he's definitely receiving a lot of, I guess you could say, heat over especially since WrestleMania. Like, he's been receiving a lot of heat, and just a lot of people just don't mess with his commentating, and
he is ass.
Bro, it's crazy. Like, bro, it literally just came out of nowhere, bro. Like,
that's not true.
Because I will say, just a few months ago, people were saying, "Oh, Pat McAfee's one of the greatest. Like, he's one of Michael Cole's best, like, co-hosts or co-pods, or co-commentators." So it's like, I understand why he's getting the heat, because he does say some controversial things, like with the whole thing with Raquel Rodriguez. Like, I didn't really care too much, but it was like, all right, bro, like, that was kind of damn. It was just wild. Like, you kind of doing too much. I do see where people is upset, because yes, at times he does do too much, but I mean, what they want him to do? Like, he brings life to that commentary table. Like, you can't. I mean, it's just, you don't want it to be dull and boring. So it's like, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence, like about how I feel about Pat McAfee. I'm not the biggest Pat McAfee fan. I don't want to say that, but I'm definitely not hating on him. I think he's a very decent commentator. And I think this feud is actually better than what I thought it would be. And I think it's going to be, like you said, a very good and entertaining match. But yeah, I have to retweet what you said. I got Gunther winning that match. Unfortunately, bro.
What happened to serving? What happened to serving Gunt, huh?
Nah. That's what I'm saying. It just had to be Gunt, bro. Like, if it was anybody else, I got Pat McAfee winning, bro. But nah, yeah. And then, last but not least, we have our main event of Backlash. It will be the main event. I don't care what nobody says. John Cena versus Randy Orton in Randy Orton's hometown, I believe. I'm pretty sure St. Louis is where he's grown up. So
that's his place.
This is gonna be a crazy match. I think I might shed a tear or two once this match actually happens, because it's gonna be like, dang, bro. It's gonna be one of those things. You ever seen those memes where it be like, it showed like the kid watching the TV show or whatever he is as a kid, and then as an adult he's watching it as well. I have to send you the screenshot. I'll post it whenever I post the podcast too, chat. But it's where the kid like sitting at it's not the cinema one. It's where like they did it for GTA. It'd be like me playing GTA San Andreas, and it's got him as a kid or asking for a parent like to get the game or whatever, and then it says me playing GTA 6, and it's him as an adult going to get. I'm explaining it bad, but once I post the screenshot or send you the screenshot, you'll be like, oh, okay. But that's how I feel, like, because I was as a kid watching John Cena versus Randy Orton, and now me as an adult I'm gonna watch John Cena versus Randy Orton, and I think it's gonna be an amazing match. I hope. I hope. I don't want to get my hopes up, but if it's the main event, maybe we get The Rock. Maybe we get Cody Rhodes. You know, like maybe we get shenanigans. I know I'm getting my hopes up, bruh. I just hope it's not just a regular match, which, if that is the case, John Cena is doing a fantastic job at ruining wrestling. Hey, that man is stealing the show, bro.
I got my take on this match already.
You can go ahead, but prediction-wise, I think John Cena retains. I think it'd be crazy for him to lose this soon into his last title reign. So yeah, I got John Cena retaining.
Well, I got a prediction for you.
Okay, go ahead.
At WrestleMania, whenever it came time for WrestleMania predictions, I was like, what did I say? I was like, expect shenanigans, because it's probably going to need to happen to carry this match. There were no shenanigans. I'm telling you right now, do not expect shenanigans. Don't expect shenanigans. Don't expect world-class wrestling. Don't expect anything. I think this is going to be probably a long and boring match. You remember when Gunther fought Randy Orton last year, and it was like 30 minutes or something, and they called it boring.
Damn, for real.
Expect that again, but worse because Gunther's not in there.
So tough.
Honestly, yeah, just expect the worst from this.
My goats are washed, bro. My goats are washed. That hurts.
Unless they're putting on, because I know what they have the capability of. Unless they're putting on like a super technical, like all-time wrestling classic, like they're wrestling in Japan or some shit.
Yeah.
This match, they're probably gonna like start off with like their hype moments or whatever, and whatever else happens.
Hey, not to cut you off, but shout out to Beacon for the 1,520 bits, bro. Shout out to Beacon, bro. Bet no expectations. I think they both gonna break. Oh, bro said he think they both gonna break a leg. Literally, I hope not. That'd actually be the worst case scenario.
I have an idea. Cena might be holding back because this is his last year, and what was it? Like he's contractually obligated for however many appearances till the end of the year.
Yeah.
So if he does get injured before then, that's gonna fuck up like a whole bunch of plans.
Yes, bro. I don't even want to speak that into existence, bro. Like, I pray to God they have a healthy match, bro.
I actually don't want it to happen. I don't want it to happen. But
bro, Beacon, you know how I play that.
Yeah, I'm literally expecting the worst from this match because hopefully when it turns out decent and I shed a few nostalgia tears or whatever, it's gonna be a fun experience. Because yeah, truthfully, like internally, I am excited to see my two of my all-time favorites.
Yes, bro.
One of my all-time favorites and one guy who has been around since I've been born, and I think he's all right. I'm excited to see this happen for the last time. It's like, you know, when Randy Orton and Edge fought, but man, yeah, they're both pushing 50.
Yeah.
We're asking a lot out of them to really do something.
Yeah, that's true as well. Like, these ain't the same prime, like 2011, 2010s Randy Orton versus John Cena that we seen prior. So, yeah.
I do have an idea.
I don't want to get my hopes up, but yeah, go ahead.
If you wanna get something from this match, if Cody Rhodes returns, he's screwing over Randy Orton.
Oh, that would be fire. You know what? Low-key, I think that's gonna happen. Like, I genuinely think that might happen.
That's my only thing I think would be like.
That would solidify
this match could be a positive, and I'm just like being overly negative. But the one thing that I think would save this match if it was a negative was Cody Rhodes returning and Randy Orton turns heel.
Bro, oh my God!
Cody Rhodes turns heel.
I just envisioned something like, bro, imagine, oh my God, like he would like, bro, like dead ass. I wish I could show y'all, but what the Rock be saying? Chills. Oh my God, that's Vince McMahon booking right there, baby. Let's go. But bro, that is actually W. Cook, bro. Like, imagine you hear Cody Rhodes come out there, you think he's gonna help out Randy Orton, and boom, he turns on Randy Orton, in the crowd erupts because they already been wanting a reason to boo Cody Rhodes. This would be the perfect way to continue where you left off, and he has a good reasoning, too. He be like, where were you at WrestleMania? You went to go help out Sami Zayn, but you ain't want to come help me out when Travis Scott was slapping me in the damn, you know what I'm saying, where were you when I needed you? So this could literally be perfect. You can cook, bro. You can literally cook, bro. That is a W theory. I really could see that happening, bro. I'm praying for all the shenanigans, bro. I think this could be fire. Cody Rhodes joins John Cena and The Rock and whatever the hell they got going on over there. I don't really know. I don't even know,
Absolutely.
bro. I seen a tweet. They said John Cena. No, they said The Rock. You remember back when The Rock was like, shut your ass up and let me enjoy the ride that I'm taking you on, right? They said the ride that he took. You remember on NXT? It was like a lot of people are confused. How about y'all just shut y'all? He was like, shut up and enjoy the ride. Basically, enjoy the ride that The Rock taking you on. They said that bit must have went to go get the milk because that bit ain't coming back. Yo, they said that bit is not coming back, bro. Like, holy. We have not seen him since the John Cena heel turn, which has been Elimination Chamber. So, I don't know. Maybe he returns at Backlash. I genuinely have no clue what The Rock has in store for us. I'm enjoying the ride, though. I'm enjoying the ride. We got John Cena as the 17-time world champion. So, I'm enjoying the ride. Just as a side bet, just since we did get we all had. Oh, you never said your prediction. I'm assuming you got John Cena winning, though, right?
Oh, and yes, to cap off all my
Yeah.
negativity, John Cena will win.
Okay, and so since we all do have, like, we all are, me and you, we both have the same predictions just about. I guess as a tiebreaker, which match do you think will be the longest match, and how long do you think that match will go on for?
Oh, it's easy. The main event.
Oh, for real? So you think that's gonna be the longest match?
They're gonna try and get 30 minutes out of these guys. At least. Maybe like 27-30 or something crazy
Loki,
like that.
I was gonna say that. Oh God, I was gonna say John Cena versus Randy due to shenanigans. So I guess if we got the same one, I guess we'll just say who has the closest time. And so I'm gonna go with. I think it's gonna be. Because like I said, I'm going to this. I just can't help it, but I'm going into it with high expectations. I got shenanigan after shenanigan happen. It's gonna have to happen to carry this match, and so I'm gonna give it 34 minutes. I think that's how long the main event is gonna be.
You say 34?
34 minutes, bro. Final answer.
If I have a second choice, I'm going to go with... I know I said Gunther versus Pat McAfee. They might give him a lot of time.
Wait, my fault. I got one more question. Mm-hmm. Does the entrance and, like, the entrance count as, like... Okay, so it's just from the time the bell rings.
Bell to bell.
Bell. Yeah. All right, bet. Yeah, I got 34 minutes. Final answer.
Yeah, because they're probably going to take, like, 10 minutes for both entrances or whatever. Yes. They're going to walk out as slow as possible. Really milk it.
You already know.
Oh, yeah. You got to make the people want it, you know.
Oh, yeah.
even when I don't want it, they got to make me want it. If I have a second choice in longest match, I was talking about Gunther versus Pat McAfee. Might go 20. I'm rethinking myself. It'll probably go like 15, maybe 13:50 or something like that. Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch, if they wanted to, those two could go for at least like 20 minutes. I could see it.
I can feel that. I can see that.
We know both of them can cook.
So. Another one that Loki has slipped on that could be a long match is that Fatal 4-Way match. Jacob Fatu. I think they could cook with a Fatal 4. I think, but like I said, I'm locking my answer in John Cena versus Cena. I'm locking that in. 33 or what did I say? 34 minutes.
I'm gonna go. I'll go on the other end of 30 and say 27.
Okay.
30.
All right, so we locking it in, chat. We got me with 34 minutes, and he has 27 minutes. If it is a tiebreaker, and we are literally, because we literally have all the same predictions, which is crazy. But yeah. So
we do.
Yeah, I think I had Dom, I had Dom, Jacob, Gunther, and Becky, and Cena winning, and Tiffany Stratton if she is on the match.
It's a very cut and dry show. Like I said, it's way too close to WrestleMania for anybody to really expect anything. Like, if the matches are good, that's fine.
Oh, yeah,
it's just surprises, probably not, because it's
Nah, I feel that.
Long-term storytelling. We know Triple H's game.
But yeah, those are our WrestleMania Backlash predictions. Now let's get into the most exciting part of the evening. I've been fiending to get into the bird is the word today. And today's bird is the word topic or segment of today is who is your worst world, or who do you think it has the worst world championship title reign in your opinion? And bro, I can get my rocks off quick. Pause if needed. But you can go first.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm saving mine for last.
No, I would say you want to go because I have a very off the wall pick that it's I'm not even gonna qualify it. I'm gonna say what I want to say.
Okay.
My pick for the worst world heavyweight champions ever.
Okay.
Is any Brock Lesnar reign post 2015.
That's tough. Okay. Hey.
So to clarify this, it starts with the Universal Championship. Yeah. Starts with the Universal Championship. I was, I started watching again back in 2016 because what was it? Sorry, the draft happened.
Yeah.
The first time the draft happened in like 7 years. SmackDown was amazing, and so I was watching SmackDown and Raw.
Okay.
Brock Lesnar was how did it go? Finn Balor won the championship at SummerSlam, but he got injured, so he never he never got it back. Kevin Owens won. He held it until Fastlane, and then Goldberg won it. Brock Lesnar was like the first champion for Raw after that WrestleMania, and he was probably the worst one. So he held the championship for 500 days. The numbers are impressive and whatever.
Yeah, I guess. In
that time, he defended it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So we got 7 total Brock Lesnar championship matches over a year and a half. And
that is crazy.
Half of those were against Roman Reigns. And probably the worst era of the Reigns and Lesnar trilogy, or Reigns and Lesnar rivalry. Yeah, and
because of Brock Lesnar though, not because of Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns could never do no wrong.
It was a combined effort. This was a collaborative decision.
Yeah,
they main evented WrestleMania 34 in a match that nobody liked, and it was bad. And so then we can get into the future, which is, I think, my least favorite moment. Oh, actually, hold on. No, I'm missing something. So Roman Reigns did end up winning the championship at SummerSlam 2018. And then, he got diagnosed with, his leukemia came back.
Yeah.
So he left again. So who else to win the title back but Brock Lesnar? And Brock Lesnar holds it for 5 months with one title defense.
Crazy.
Before WrestleMania.
That's actually crazy.
That one title defense against Finn Balor, which was a good match. I do remember that. But for that to be his only match as the Universal Champion again is insane. And then the worst one possible, so we got like a big 3 of shitty Brock Lesnar reigns.
Okay.
This was when he beat Kofi.
Oh my gosh,
seconds
bro. That was so
to win the
trash,
WWE Championship.
I would never forgive Vince for that, bro.
You need to listen to this all-star studded cast of matches that Brock Lesnar fought during this championship reign. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You ready? We got the big thing. WWE built this up for a while. They really wanted it to happen in the ring. Brock Lesnar versus UFC fighter Cain Velasquez.
That's it?
And then at Survivor Series a month later, we got Brock Lesnar versus Rey Mysterio.
Yuck! Oh my god! He was in a.
And then
that's disgusting, bro.
It gets even worse. So Brock Lesnar doesn't defend the WWE Champion. This is their big guy, by the way. I was going to say this. They took the title off Kofi Kingston because they needed a really big name for SmackDown moving to Fox. And he goes 3 months without defending the WWE Championship. And he goes to Super Showdown. It happens in Saudi Arabia. And the person that they have him fight at Saudi Arabia is Ricochet.
Hey, Ricochet, right?
Actually, W Ricochet. But this is on the way to This is on the way to WrestleMania, where he ended up fighting Drew McIntyre. We all knew he wasn't losing here. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so after the Ricochet match, it ends up going to WrestleMania. He loses to
Drew
McIntyre. What I have to say for this championship reign, the combined match time of this reign will include we'll include the where he lost to Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
He fought 15 minutes worth of matches.
That is actually insane, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That's
actually over a period of 5 months.
That's actually pretty nuts. I ain't gonna hold you. That's actually pretty crazy.
When I tell you, I hated Brock Lesnar with the passion for so long. Like, this was before all the other stuff came out about him. I hated him for so long because he just showed up and did nothing and won championships. He's Charlotte. He's actually the male Charlotte. I made the thing with the comparison about Gunther last week. Brock Lesnar is the male Charlotte. Like, it actually pisses me off how much they just give him whatever he wants. And thank God it's never happening again because Vince's dusty, crusty, old, nasty ass is out of the company.
Yes, you ain't lying. You ain't lying. That's a good answer. I didn't expect that one. But
I hate that guy.
I think my answer is gonna be a little more different, a little more shortcut and to the point. Cause this superstar had I guess you could say the worst title reign, but the best title reign in my opinion. It's crazy like me saying it, but this superstar won the WWE Championship, and while in that same night he lost it to the GOAT John Cena. That's why it's one of the best, because this trash champion Rey Mysterio couldn't even hold on to the belt for a full 3 hours. Like, how bad do you have to be? Like, bro, Rey Mysterio has to be one of the worst world champions in general. Like, he has to be one of the worst world champions in general, but specifically his WWE Championship reign, by far one of the worst title reigns I've ever seen in my life. Vince McMahon for booking him like the jobber he truly is and exposing him for the jobber that he truly is, bro. I'm not joking. I'll kid you not, bro. Like, bro, it makes me sick in my stomach that you guys consider him a Hall of Famer. He is so jobberfied it's not even funny. Like, bro, I can't speak lowly enough about Rey Mysterio. Like, it's not hatred, it's me spewing facts. Like I said earlier, the Bird's Nest podcast is a podcast where we only spew facts, never lies or hatred. We literally spew facts and that's it. And I'm telling you right now, bro, Rey Mysterio, he shouldn't even have won that night. Vince McMahon knew it was a mistake. But the reason why I said it's the best title reign is because it made John Cena one step closer to number 17. So shout out to Rey Mysterio for passing the torch, you know what I'm saying? Or like shining it up for a couple hours and giving it right back to my GOAT, bro. Yours truly. But yeah, I think the worst world championship reign it has to be Rey Mysterio, and it's not even close. And this is a hot take. Hear me out. This is a hot take. Drew McIntyre's title reign at WrestleMania 40, where he when he won you talking about when Damian Priest had cashed in on him, I think that title reign was better than Rey Mysterio's title reign when he won the WWE Championship, bro. I kid you not. All jokes aside, bro. Worst title reign I've ever seen in my life, bro. Shout out to Rey Mysterio though.
That's crazy. I mean, I thought you were talking about the one from like Mania 37. That's one of the best.
No. I'm talking about whenever he won and lost it literally in seconds due to Damian Priest cashing in. That title reign, that little 5-minute title reign, was better than Rey Mysterio's whole night of like WWE champion. It was just terrible title reign. Thank God John Cena took that title off of him as soon as possible. We don't need Rey Mysterio running around with the spinner belt. He's just not him. He's not that good. He's not qualified. He's not qualified, bro. He's a jobber. Jobbers shouldn't be holding main. That's why he didn't beat, bro, I'm not even going to get too much into it. But yeah, that's my world's worst championship reign, Rey Mysterio. But yeah.
And then the original picture has Goldberg winning the championship off the Fiend. And then I think we all know he lost it immediately to Braun Strowman at Mania 36. That was tough. And then Jack Swagger winning it after WrestleMania 25 or 26, I think, something like that.
Hey, by the way,
Jinder Mahal.
Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
That Jack Swagger title reign is low-key underrated, bro. I thought it was fire. I actually liked Jack Swagger as the World Heavyweight Championship. He had a little bit of aura. I thought he looked good with it. Pause. Like, he looked good with the belt around his waist. Like,
get what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
He looked decent with it. Like, it wasn't that bad. I don't think it's the world's worst. I definitely could see, you know what I'm saying, the first few that you said.
I wasn't watching. Yeah, I have no clue.
Yeah.
And then there's also Jinder Mahal winning it from Randy Orton, which personally, yes, would also be my. I guess if you're talking an individual reign or like the person who won it, I would say that's my worst. I don't hate Jinder Mahal, but
it's
they
just the
didn't
fact
do
that he
anything.
took it off Randy Orton, though, for me at least.
Well, it's like they didn't do anything to make him important beforehand.
Yeah.
Because he didn't even win. He didn't even win the Andre Battle Royale.
Yeah.
He just won a random match on SmackDown to be the next challenger, and then he won it after doing nothing for the better part of a year or two.
And it only seemed like they let him win it because at the time it was in Saudi Arabia.
No, it was the India thing.
Yes. That's what I thought. I feel like it seemed like they only gave it to him because it was, you know what I'm saying, where his hometown. I was like, or home country.
Hold up, because let me check. I need to check his match history. They did a thing in they had a show in India, and they were trying to promote themselves to an Indian audience. So that ended up being part of. I guess that went into why he won the championship. If I'm not wrong, yes. So they did a house show in India, and the main event was Jinder Mahal versus Triple H.
Crazy.
So I just need to remind people that Jinder Mahal, who has never been thought of as a good wrestler, and then Triple H, who was probably 50-something at that time.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'm locking it in. Rey Mysterio is trash. He will never be my world champion. I think he's the worst world champion, and he has the world's worst world championship reign. Mason, you got Brock Lesnar's Universal title reign.
And WWE championship.
Yeah, I feel that. And so that's gonna conclude our Bird's Nest podcast episode of the day. This is our third episode now?
Whoop whoop. Yeah.
So it's this is the third episode, man. If you like what you see in chat, y'all be sure to hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below who do you think is the world's worst, or who do you think has the worst title reign, and what are your thoughts on the WWE releases? Because we're genuinely curious. But with that being said, is there any final words that you would like to say, Mason?
So we're not talking about the Cora Jade thing, or are we just gonna let the people?
I mean,
we don't have to.
I'm gonna say this, and then we can leave it at that. All I'm saying is, I'll be one of the first to sign up. I'll be one of the first. Take my debit card, no matter the price. Take my debit card. Yeah. And with that being said, it's your boy Jay Bird and my co-host Mason. And we out, chat. Y'all be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. Yes, the Bird's Nest podcast, baby. But yeah, hey, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not joking. I'm definitely signing up, bro. Take my card, bitch.